Hey, Rob.
Hey.
How are you?
A bit jet lagged, but I'm here.
That's good. Well, yeah. Why aren't you here, Rob?
I got a last minute call to LA. I'm still very active in the business, and I'm still very busy on a number of tours. And to be honest, it's a Bon Jovi on sale that had to come over here on an emergency group meeting event.
You're so rock and roll, Rob. Thank you so much for joining us. We're delighted. You've got a full house that you're speaking to, as well as Polly Sampson and Catherine Williams, who are on the stage with me.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hey, Rob. So I suppose the first question for you, Rob, the obvious one really, is how did that conversation go with Leonard back in the day when you were coaxing him out of retirement and back onto the stage?
Well, I've been a massive Leonard Cohen fan all my life since I can remember listening to early albums when I was 13 years old, and people thinking I was weird because they were listening to Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and I was listening to Leonard. And reading all his novels and his poems and blah blah blah. And I became quite a successful promoter, having worked with Duran Duran, with Prince, with Michael Jackson, lots of people. And I thought to myself, God, if I can become this successful, I need to work with my favourite artists of all time. So I started to stalk the man. And it took about 5 years before he agreed to meet me. But I kept hounding Corey, who became his lawyer at this time. He was already out of the monastery, had his financial issues that everyone's aware of, there's no point in harping on about those. And, was suddenly thinking, okay, maybe. So I finally got to meet Leonard. And for the first time in my life when I've been pitching an artist, I said, look, before we start, can we just do a photo together, just in case I've never seen you again, I just want to have a photo. That was the first thing. And then he said, okay, kind of disarmed him a little. And we took a photo, and then we sat down, and I did my pitch, which was basically, hey Leonard, everyone wants to see you. There's a huge audience out there. And he was full of doubt. I mean, his biggest thing is, well, what if nobody wants to see me? What if I can't play anymore? I've not picked up a guitar in 10 years. What if I can't sing? What if nobody cares? And I said, well, that's all rubbish, Leonard. Everyone cares. Everyone wants to see you. There's a real demand out there, trust me. So I said, here's what I do. Go in the rehearsal room. We went in SIR, just down the road from where I am now in Los Angeles on Sunset. Yeah. And I said, audition musicians. And if you don't like it, at the end of the thing, if you don't feel happy, if you don't feel comfortable, then all bets are off. I'll pick up the tab and we'll walk away as friends. So that was basically the deal. So he goes into SIR. 6 months later, $1 million bill. It was just touching $1 million, and I was starting to sweat. And I get the call from Leonard saying, "Okay, I'm ready. Come." So I came over to LA, and I saw the greatest Leonard Cohen concert anyone could possibly see in SIR Studios. He put a sofa in front of the stage just for me. Wow. And I sat there, just me and the band, and then for 2 hours listening to it, just in heaven, just in ecstasy. I went, yeah, I'm sorry, excuse my French. I said, that's great. Let's go. And then they go, okay, slow down. He said, first of all, find me some warm-up dates in the Maritimes. I want to do 6 shows in the Maritimes. So I said, yeah, of course, Leonard, anything you want. I'll get them tomorrow. And I left it and I said, where the hell are the Maritimes? I didn't have a clue. I mean, anyway, Google's a wonderful thing. And I discovered these beautiful places like Moncton and Fredericton and Goose Green and Halifax I had heard of, I have to say. And so we put together what we euphemistically called, first we take Moncton, then we take Berlin. And turned up in Moncton first night, and there was this, I've got a great photo of it somewhere, and there's this billboard outside, one of these ones you see outside churches that says "Praise the Lord" normally or something, you know. And it's said in these letters that you stick on it off. Thursday night, Elvis Presley tribute. Saturday night, boys choir sing Handel or something, and then Saturday night, Leonard Cohen. And it was a 600. There's a 600 seat here, and we're standing there backstage, and then it's visibly shaking. I mean, this is the first time he's been on stage for 15 years, and he goes, "Is there anybody out there?" And of course, Leonard is packed. You know, seriously. There's people come, you know, and yeah, they're always there. So he comes out on stage, and anyone in the audience who came to a Leonard Cohen show knows that was the first night where, as soon as he hit the stage, the audience all spontaneously rose as one and gave him a standing ovation before he opened his mouth. That happened throughout the tour. We did the shows, and he said, "Okay, let's go." So then we came to Dublin. And Dublin was the first of the big open airs we did. And it was magnificent celebration. We did, I think it was 3 nights, 16,000 people a night. People were dancing, celebrating. It was amazing. And it was just fantastic. Then we go to Manchester Opera House. 2,000 seats in Manchester. And I'm sitting there, and closing time comes on, you know, and towards the end, I jump up and start clapping my hands, closing time, ladies, I won't bore you, you wouldn't listen to me. And there were people around me going, shh, shh, shh. Like we were in the church in Leonard Cohen. I'm like, nah, this isn't right. If people behave like this in theatres and not experience the proper Leonard Cohen experience. So I said to Leonard, let's play an arena. And he looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, an arena? And I said, yeah, let's do the O2, 16,000 people would be great. And he looked at me and, seriously? And I went, yeah, let's do it. Anyway, by this point, he had a little bit of trust in me. And we put the O2 on set. And anyone who's got that live at the O2 seats DVD, that look on Leonard's face when he walks out on stage and sees 16,000 people. I mean, we captured it brilliantly on that film. It's just that childlike innocence when he's looking around the room going, oh my God, you know, all these people, all these faces. And it was wonderful. It became a celebration again, like it was in Dublin. People dancing in the aisles, people cheering, people celebrating. And we lost that kind of pseudo-religious experience, which I hated personally. I'm sorry if anyone out there was enjoying that. But,
No, it's interesting. I saw several of the gigs. I was at that Manchester thing, and the reason they were like that, it was framed as art, wasn't it? It was part of the Manchester International Festival, and everyone went there to stroke their chins, not listen to music. But exactly. Several of the shows. But so I suppose the question really is, because Rob, all the talk's been about the money. You went on tour to claw about the money, but I don't think that's the reality. He went on tour, and I think he was blown away by what he experienced, and then what he found in himself, because he was a lot slower, the voice was a lot deeper, but he seemed to be completely loving every single second of his stage time.
It totally re-inspired him. And when I first met Leonard, he was almost like a wizened old man. He was walking a bit with a bent back, and he was fragile and frail. By the time we finished that tour, he was dancing around, getting down on bended knee, jumping up and down, doing 3-hour shows, complaining if anyone said, "Oh, could you only do 2 hours because there's a curfew?" It re-inspired him. I mean, I like to think that we wouldn't have had the last 3 albums if it wasn't for them. And told me as much on the first album, the first of the last 3. How much the touring had inspired him, and the love from the audience, and realising that people loved him and wanted him. I mean, that was great. He didn't really feel loved before he went back on the road. He didn't think anyone even knew who he was anymore. So I mean, that's I think one of my biggest achievements in my career was making sure Leonard knew that he was so loved before he passed.
Yeah, well, hats off to you, Rob, for that, and we're all very grateful, are we not?
Yeah.
They say don't meet your heroes. Well, you were lucky enough to meet yours. Just give us a sense of what he was like.
He was charming. He was caring. He was giving. He could be a moody old sod sometimes. You know, I mean, he had his moments, but overall, he was just a lovely man. Probably the smartest human being I've ever met in my life. And the whole thing was family. Basically, he was too old to go on a bus or over all the journeys, so we rented a jet. Now, a lot of rock stars rent these little private flash jets, you know, for 8 people, and they go off in those, and the crew and the entourage traipse around following them in buses and blah, blah, blah. But no, not Leonard. Everyone on the crew was treated equally. Everyone was treated the same as Leonard, and he insisted it. So we rented like an EasyJet charter plane. And everyone, the crew, the band, everyone went on that every show. You know, he was just very humble as well. Another one of my favourite Leonard stories is he was when we got to a hotel, because he was Leonard Cohen, the hotel would give him a free upgrade to a suite. And he'd go, no, I don't want a suite, because in the morning I don't want to have to search around for all my things. Just give me a small room with a bed and enough room for my case, and then I won't lose anything. So I used to grab the suite every night. Another favourite was his love of fillet of fish.
Yeah.
You'd often find Leonard Cohen at 2 in the morning in a McDonald's somewhere eating a fillet of fish. And just sitting there quietly. Yeah, he was a very humble, very caring, you know, and like you were saying earlier about Adam, saying about the children, but yeah, the children, yeah, Adam and Lorca did the merchandise, you know, hanging around. We did a couple of tours with Adam. I've got to get him out there again, because he's such an underrated talent.
He's got a lovely voice,
Yeah, he's and he's a great performer as well, but, you know, if he was called Leonard Smith, if he was called Adam Smith, I think he'd be a superstar. But very hard to be Adam Cohen. Very, very, very hard. You know, it's almost like an anchor around his neck. But Adam will be back. You'll see Adam back in London on stage. I'm determined to that.
One of the things about
those his children, he loved his grandchildren. He loved being around his grandchildren, Lucas' kids, and Adam's son. He was just a normal guy, you know. He had no pretense. He was just a normal, regular guy.
And did he take himself off to go and write when he was on tour? Would he sort of squirrel himself away and put a "Do Not Disturb" sign up? And
Leonard on tour, because of his voice and because of the 3-hour show and everything, he didn't hang out with the band, with the crew. I mean, once in a while he'd come down to the bar and have a glass of wine and go to bed. But usually you wouldn't see him all day before showtime. He'd arrive at the venue about 2 hours, warm up his voice, blah, 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 go on stage, straight off stage in a car, straight to his room, and you wouldn't see him until the next day. And the amount of people that wanted to meet him on the tour that he passed on was incredible. Bono was particularly persistent. I remember we were in Dublin, it was very early on the tour, before I fully realised, you know, Leonard's policy of no talking to anyone and not meeting anyone. Bono is in Dublin, and he comes up to me and said, "Hey, yeah, would it be okay to meet Leonard after the show?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, I'm sure he'd love to meet you, Bono. Get out, and, you know, I'll come back to you." So I go to Leonard and I say, "Hey Leonard, Bono's here, I'd like to say hi." And he goes, thank you very much for coming. I'm very grateful. However, I'm busy. You know, if I'm going to get through this schedule, please send my apologies. I need to go and sleep." So I said to Bono, "Sorry, Bono, Leonard needs his rest. We've got another show tomorrow. He sends his regards and thanks for coming." He goes, Okay, how about lunch at my house tomorrow?" So I said, he said, you can both come. I went, "Okay, let me ask you, maybe he'll fancy that." And I said, "Hey Leonard, do you fancy having lunch with Bono tomorrow? His house is invited, so thank him very much." "But I've got a show tonight, and I need to rest." So I call Bono back and say, "Hey Bono, I'm sorry, man. Leonard's very grateful for the invitation, but we've really got to do a show tomorrow, and then we're travelling." And he goes, "Okay, well, how about if I come to London?" And by this point, I realised, So I said, but, you know, you're welcome to come to London, but I'm afraid unlikely you'll get to see Leonard. And this story went on all through the tour. I mean, Joni Mitchell, presidents, yes, and then we get to France, and Sarkozy was. You know. So I used to tell them about all these people who want to come, you know, and just so he knows, just in case, and so he knows the attention, you know. Knowing he'll always say no. So I kind of almost offhandedly said, hey, Leonard, Sarkozy wants to meet you in Paris. Yeah, don't worry, I'll put them off, yeah, politely, like we always do with everyone. But, is Carla going to come? Yeah, and he said he wants to bring Carla. I said, okay. So we're at the Olympic Theatre in Paris, and Sarkozy and Carla come. And basically, the story was, I mean, without trying to be rude, I mean, we all know that Leonard's a ladies' man, but he really just wanted to see if the shape of Carla's butt was really crescent-like as it looks in photos in real life. So we're all in agreement in the Olympic in Paris, and Carla and Sarkozy come in the room. And like he thinks he's just meeting Leonard, but everyone wants to see this, you know. So the whole band, all standing there, coming in, watching Carla's rear end as she enters the room. And yeah, it was funny at the time. Anyway. That was the only great that he did. I think the whole 4 years of touring. So he still had the sparkle in his eye. He was still, you know. I don't know what I've got a million stories, but it's just bringing them to mind, and you know. It was a very joyous time for everyone. A joyous time for Leonard. It was a joyous time for me, the band, the crew. It's a time that no one will ever forget. And I'm so glad it was filmed so much, so we can all sit at home and enjoy it. I don't know about you guys, I regularly watch one of those concerts that we filmed and sit there and, you know, a tear comes to the eye and love it, and yeah, pleasure and pain at the same time.
Did he ever get?
There'll never be another Leonard.
No, there'll be another Leonard. Did he ever get hacked off with it? Were there some nights where he just didn't want to do the show?
No, never.
Really?
Show. He lived for the show. He loved the show. He loved being on stage. He absolutely adored being on stage.
And was he? Oh, he's always a nervous performer, but the time he's up and running, this is a 2-year tour. But by the end, was he just like hopping up the stage, no worries whatsoever?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, after the Maritimes, really, he was the first night he was shaking. And the first arena he was shaking when we first did the O2, you know. But then once we got in the stride, it's easy, you know. Hey, this is kids' play, you know. We were playing in Australia. I came up with the idea because we done this. I think this is the second or third time we've gone to Australia, and yeah, playing the Rod Laver Centre in Melbourne again, you know. So I said to my promoter down there, hey, let's do AS Rock. Yeah. He said that's crazy, it's miles away, blah blah blah. And then somewhere in the back of my mind a movie from the 60s came up called Hanging Rock. I went, okay, it's Hanging Rock. Which is just outside Melbourne. So we did this huge open air show, 30,000 people watching Leonard Cohen. It was amazing. The only time he ever got really pissed off with me was when we started one tour in the summer, a bit early. I think we started late May, and it was raining, and it got cold. And he got a little bit grumpy with me then, you know, saying, why are you putting me in these rainy, cold situations? I don't know if anyone was in Weybridge, were they?
It could happen in Weybridge.
Yeah, it was soaking.
Yeah, Weybridge. Weybridge was probably the time. I don't think he talked to me for about 2 or 3 days after.
Well, we've got you and we've got the audience. Can I just see if anybody would like to ask you a question? Would you mind?
No, good.
Let me just spin around. Anybody in the audience, would anybody like to ask Rob a question? There's a gentleman at the back there, and I need a microphone to get to him, otherwise Rob won't hear it.
Certainly can't see him.
No. Well, let me describe him to you. He's got a red mic.
I'd really like to ask and thank you very much in advance, what he thought of Bob Dylan's music, and did he know Bob Dylan, and if he did, what's the relationship, and that kind of thing.
I don't know how much. I'll tell you, rather than answer that directly, I'll tell you a story.
And then answer directly after that.
We were in Halifax on the tour, and the night before we were playing, Bob was playing in the arena in Halifax. So then I said, let's go see Bob. So, okay, so me, Leonard, and a couple of others of the crew, we went and they put us in a box and we went to see Bob. If anyone's seen Bob lately, it's kind of sad. You know, he turns his back to the audience, you can't recognise his song, he doesn't play the hits. It's not a Leonard Cohen show. And I'm not slagging Bob, I've got ultimate respect, obviously, as you should. But 15 minutes in, Leonard tapped me on my knee and said, let's go. So, I rest my case on that story.
What was his first reaction when he heard that Bob Dylan had been made a Nobel laureate?
What's the quote? I forget it now. I mean, basically, I mean, it was a wry smile to himself, and you know, what was the comment? Something about you don't call Mount Everest the largest mountain in the world, or something. It's some quote like that. He said something about that. Of course he is. You know, of course he's the mountain. He's the one. I mean, Leonard would never say anything critical about anyone, really. I mean, I've never heard him say a bad word about anyone. You know.
Not in his nature. Okay, thanks.
No, never. I mean, thinking about it, it's weird. I mean, we all slag people up from time to time. But no, I've never heard Leonard say anything negative about anyone.
Okay, Rob, we've got a couple more coming to you. Gentlemen, another red microphone question.
Tell him that. You said how he got used to, you know, after the initial shock, he was sort of used to doing the shows. But the way he skipped on the stage and skipped off the stage, he did seem really to enjoy it. He didn't get used to it so much, I hope, to the fact that it was just another concert. He really seemed to enjoy it.
Never. Every concert was special to him. I mean, I remember the only time we only lost one concert. We didn't even lose the whole of it. He was sick in Valencia, I think it was, and yeah, he did an hour and a half. I mean, most of the audience didn't even realise, and then ran off and went straight to the bathroom, was sick as a pig, and blah blah blah. But no, and he was really that concerned him. He kept saying, "Let's replace Valencia." I didn't give him my all. Let's replace Valencia. Every show, every member of the audience, every minute of every show was to him so important. I mean, he was a perfectionist. I mean, the sound. I mean, I don't think anyone in this room has ever heard a concert sound like Leonard Cohen. And there's a reason for that. It was very expensive, but we used to tune the room. There's some technology where you can, where the computer. I mean, I'm not a technician, but he found this technology where you can tune the room, and it tells the sound engineer exactly the frequencies that he has to use to make sure the sound resonates properly. And except, I mean, he was a perfectionist, and that's why his concerts all sounded amazing. No, he never got bored. He was never going through the motions. Every show was different. He'd always throw a surprise little cover in there. You know, his sense of humour shone through. The grocery of despair, I think people finally were realising was actually a comedian. Has everyone seen Introducing Mr. Leonard Cohen?
Yeah.
I mean, where he does his stand-up comedy thing. I mean, that's what he was doing. He's going around doing stand-up. I mean, to me, Leonard's always been hilarious. And he added the humour to the show. Every single show mattered as much as any other show, whether we were in London or if we were in, I don't know, some town that you've never heard of. We did a few of those. It all mattered, every minute of every show.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, a yellow microphone this time, Rob.
My question is about the later albums, the last three, specifically the last one, and basically context to what led to it, because there are so many themes in that album, and the one in the start of his career, he had specific muses or things that inspired him, but the last few albums, I want to know if you know what went into the songwriting or what was going through his mind.
I wouldn't say, you know, I wouldn't say I know 100% for sure, but like any other fan, I think the last album's obvious. I mean, I knew he was coming to terms with his own mortality. He'd been sick for a while. We were hoping to do a final tour. We'd met about it. We talked about it. And you could just see in his eyes how frail he was getting. But he was, you know, still positive. But he was becoming aware of his own mortality very much. So the last album was very much that. The two before, I think, were, especially the first one, stuff that's been stuck inside him for a while and sift through, like the album that we'll promise coming up. I mean, yeah, Leonard used to record a lot. My understanding is there is quite a few songs that I've not heard either. There's a couple I have heard, and a lot that I haven't, that have not come out yet.
Yeah, Adam said he's working on that posthumous album, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on some posthumous touring ideas. I don't know if did everyone see the concert we did in Montreal last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you got some yeses there.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, look it up on YouTube, you'll see it. It was called A Tower Song. We had Sting, we had Lana Del Rey, we had Elvis Costello. Adam was brilliant himself. Yeah, Leonard. And we did a tribute of Leonard's life, which I intend to do in London. It's a lot of work and very labour intensive, but it's, you know, we're going to be doing. I want to do some official Leonard events that, you know, where we actually, you know, use the original band, use fans who are singers, and bring Leonard back to life again in the theatre.
What was he listening to, Rob? You know, in those final years, was he listening to sort of those late David Bowie albums as well, and sort of connecting with, because he was sort of telling a similar sort of story of an aging star, aging singer, or was he? I think that's coincidence. I think Richard just talking about two very intelligent artists who become aware of their mortality. I don't think it's connected. I just think it's two geniuses. What did he listen to?
In a similar place. I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I mean, when Leonard was on his own, he was on his own. You know, when we talked about the tours, we talked about politics, we talked about everything. We rarely talked about other people's music. Very, very rarely.
Molly Sampson wants to know what was his rider.
No, I don't.
Oh, his rider. He didn't have a rock star rider. There was no green Smarties, or, you know, there was nothing fancy. He used to like a good glass of red wine after the show. And he used to enjoy the band and us drinking good red wine. So we had red wine. It was pretty much red wine. In fact, rather embarrassingly, if you've got the DVD that's got the interview with all the people involved in the tour, you'll see me, and I'm talking mainly about red wine. A bit of a lost opportunity when you're on tour with a legend, you're on the DVD, and all you talk about is the quality of the wine. It was a very important part. That every Friday he'd do the Shabbat prayers, with prayer prayers, and he'd do that. But there was nothing, there was nothing outrageous on the ride. I mean, it was all very, very simple. He was in the venue a very short time. He did the sound check. He did the whole show with the sound check. So when you saw a 3-hour Leonard Cohen show, he'd actually done 6 hours.
Wow.
Because he did 3 hours. He did the whole show in sound check before he did the show. And I used to love the sound checks because that's when you heard the new songs. That's when he was writing and growing the new songs for the next couple of albums. So, you know, that was always exciting. And so the sound check was a separate show. So he was only in the venue, you know, in his dressing room, an hour, 2 hours max. And so, yeah, his riding requirements were very, very, very humble.
All right, Rob. Great. Another question for the lady at the back there.
I can see the mic.
Yeah, the Skype's working, mate, but the mic's don't. Otherwise...
I know, you're worried about Skype, it's your own tech.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if he ever discussed or saw any distinction between himself as a musician, as a writer, as a poet, or if it was just an overall, if he just saw himself as an artist, if he ever discussed kind of his different disciplines, or he saw them all as one, really.
It's not really. I don't know how you'd have that conversation with someone. You know, I mean, I'm not an interviewer. We were. So you say, hey Leonard, what do you think of yourself? You know, that kind of weird thing to ask someone.
Did he ever discuss sort of writing again, or did he ever discuss having a flair or passion for more fun or more discipline, or did it just seem that he was just not pleased?
The only thing he just, the only thing we discussed along those lines was when I was pushing for the last tour, as you do. And he said, okay, but I've got, before I pass this Molten Coral, I've got a novel in me, I've got another book of poetry in me, I've got another record in me, and I want to get all of that out before I pass. I mean, he did talk about his mortality towards the end, and quite a bit, and especially in terms of his work, how, and it was all of his skills that he wanted to get out there. He wanted to get another novel, he wanted to get poems out there, and he wanted to get music out there. You know, I don't know. I really don't know how he saw himself. I think he saw himself as I think he was never. I mean, I talked to him about his novels because Favourite Game and Beautiful Losers were, you know, two books in my youth I loved, and I was always perplexed why he never wrote another one. You know, and his answer to that was simply, you know, the time never came.
Rob, what example?
I just, I mean, there are, maybe it's apocryphal, but there was an even more junior novel than the first one. And then, wasn't there a completed novel before The Favourite Game?
My understanding is that does exist. I hope it appears one day. I've not seen it, heard it, seen it, you know.
And do you know that, had he done any sort of work on the final novel?
I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm hoping to see Adam later. There's one of the things I was going to ask him. So,
I think the answer to the latest question, I sense, I don't agree that I think he was a writer first and a musician second. I think he found music was a way to get his writing to as many people as possible. And therefore the idea...
Oh, no, definitely, 100%. I mean, if you see introducing Mr. Leonard Cohen, music wasn't even in it. My understanding is it was Julie Collins that really didn't pick up a guitar and put music to his lyrics. He always claimed he wasn't a very good guitarist. I thought he was a brilliant guitarist. I've never heard anyone play quite so subtly, quite such a, in such a manner. But yeah, he was definitely a writer before he was a musician. But whether the music took over later, because it's certainly his output musically was far greater than his output as either a poet or a novelist. So I think once he started as a pure writer and comedian, don't forget, I think music did take over and become the driving force.
Okay, one final question maybe. Is anybody? One final question to those two. I feel bad. Okay, I'll take both. There's a gentleman and a lady, either side, just about in the middle of the auditorium there. Thank you very much, Rob. Who's paying for the call?
Thank you.
The Sunset Marquee Hotel.
Can I ask if you actually bring the tour of his music down, that you include some of the Scandinavian versions?
Some of the Scandinavian versions? Yes, as I don't speak Scandinavian,
Get hold of Par Norsk. It's a brilliant copy.
Yeah?
A brilliant copy of covers. He was huge in Scandinavia. Par Norsk.
Par Norsk, I'll check it out. I've not heard it.
Thank you. I'll put it on the list, Rob. And the lady over here.
Hi, I was privileged to see Leonard Cohen 3 times in concert. The first time I saw him was at the O2. Yeah. And the thing that came across to me was how much we loved him. Did he, in your opinion, appreciate that, know that how much he was loved?
5 million%. You know, I mean, as I say, look at that. If you've got the Live at the O2 DVD, look at his face in that opening shot. You know, to me, that tells it all. I just love that little shot of Leonard with that, cheeky grin and sort of kind of childlike, wide-eyed. No, he knew he was like that's what brought him back to life. I mean, Leonard was, almost always an old man before we started that. And seeing the love from all of the audience and all of the fans, he loved it. He loved his. I had time for his friends. I mean, if you met him in a hotel, he'd stop, he'd take a photo. he knew a lot of the bands that followed us around as well, and followed us all over the world.
Bono should have tried that, shouldn't he then? He would have been fine. Adam Cohen said an interesting thing about that particular comment the lady was saying, which was that he'd gone up to his dad about his own songs and being saying, I don't want to sort of sing my old stuff, but his dad said, Leonard said, stop being so naive, don't be an idiot, it's not for you. You know, do you think Mick Jagger feels, you know, Brown Sugar every night? Well, of course he doesn't. Do I feel Hallelujah every night? Of course I don't. But I want them to feel it. That's the point.
I mean, Hallelujah. I mean, he got fed up a bit with Hallelujah because of the cover versions. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, he did say on more than one occasion. So I don't think you can still see me. There's a call coming through, but I've just turned it off. I did go back. Sorry.
You're back. Hello, Ross. We'll rock and roll to us, don't worry.
What was I saying? I've lost myself now.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, big cover.
Hallelujah. He was just fed up of all the cover versions. You know, one that will remain nameless because I don't like disrespecting artists, but a certain talent contest winner did a version to make it sound like a hit, and had a Christmas #1. I think that was kind of oh no, not again, please, you know. But no, you're right. He that's when we first did it. It was interesting. He came to me and he goes, "Oh, you know, Adam tells me I should only play for an hour because otherwise people will get bored." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "You know, yeah, Adam thinks, you know, young people today, they don't want long concerts, they don't have the attention span, and I should only play an hour." And I said, "Leonard, you only play an hour, you're going to get killed." Everyone wants to hear everything. You know, I mean, and I jokingly said, "Let me play for 3 hours, people play for 3 hours." And he went out and played for 3 hours longer, so... no, I mean, that comment about, you know, pleasing the audience, actually, you know, pleasing the audience was what you lived for. And he just lived for the smiles. And, yeah, you saw him at the end of every concert. He brought a crew and everyone on stage. We all sang a little song. He took his bow and danced off, and with the biggest grin on his face. And, you know, no, he loved it. He loved his audience very much, very much.
Well, we've loved you, Rob Hallett. You've been fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us.